What's going on, everyone? Data Report here for datareport.info. I want to bring up something to your attention that really is not going to be talked about in the media, and it's probably going to be brushed under the rug, and it's something that is flying under the radar that needs to be brought out to the attention of the public. And I hope to be one of the people to do it because I've seen a couple people talk about it on Twitter. I've seen a couple people bring it to my attention, and guess what? This needs to get more attention because it's really bad. And it has to do with the post-acute phase of COVID-19. So you get COVID, right? And here's a problem with COVID. Let's do a little highlighting here. Look down below. Documented serious post-COVID-19 conditions include cardiovascular problems, pulmonary issues, neurological issues, renal issues, endurnic issues, hematological issues, gastrointestinal issues, complications, as well as, oh, look at this, death. Yes, these post-COVID issues can lead to death. And if I pronounced any of these incorrectly, my apologies. I think you know where I'm coming with here. We just named about the majority of every organ in the body system, or a whole slew of specialists. You have neurological specialists, you have pulmonary specialists. Hey, I can raise my hand. I go to a pulmonary specialist / sleep doctor. So yeah, I fall under that list, and yes, it's from an initial COVID infection back in 2020. Specialists are booked. When I first went to get my appointment with this specialist for the first time, I had to wait 5 months, or on or about 5 months, to only find out when it was time for my appointment, the doctor tested positive for COVID. He's fine now. He's better now. He was one of the lucky ones. However, with that being said, it's showing you everything is so messed up. Specialists are just completely overwhelmed right now. And all these post-COVID organ damage that people are having, it's getting pushed under the rug. You don't hear anyone talking about this. It's something serious. And for some people, it's so serious it leads to other issues, and eventually they die. And guess what? Their death certificate does not get certified as a COVID-19 death. Not at all. It's getting certified as one of these issues, which was initially caused by COVID, but they're not linking it to COVID in the death certificate. Oh no. No, not at all. And this is really concerning. So if we're going to put things down as something else other than COVID, I know there's a whole group of people out there, and this really burns me up. There's a whole group of people out there that say, oh, they're marking this or that down as COVID, and it wasn't COVID. Hello. If you initially had COVID and it's the cause of the problem that led to these organ damage, which then led to the death, then yeah, you can stem it back to COVID. And the cause of death is COVID, even though at that moment they weren't positive, it led up to them dying of COVID. And hello, it's one of the reasons why the past couple years in this country, in the United States, we have had a record number of deaths. Have there always been heart problems? Have there always been neurological problems? Pulmonary issues? Have there always been diabetic issues? Yes, all that stuff has always existed. But what we're trying to say to you is, or what I'm trying to say to you is, it is now happening at record levels because of post-COVID organ damage, which is leading to these issues in a higher number that we have ever seen before. And therefore, the number of deaths, the excess deaths, the COVID deaths, all the deaths overall in the United States are hitting record levels. And a lot of people are just not linking that back to the coronavirus. And as you can clearly see here in this report, and I'm going to link this report down below because there's a lot of different things. This was like the reference guide for the coronavirus expanded. This was the February 2023 update, and it included all these different things in your body, all these different organs in the body that can get damaged from an initial COVID infection. So, yeah, I just thought I would bring this to your attention that there's a lot of post problems with COVID. I mean, we know long COVID is a real issue, and this is more proof of it. And it really seems to me, the more we learn about long COVID, the more horrifying it is. I mean, almost every organ in your body can be damaged from an initial COVID infection. I mean, maybe it starts out mild, and then you have damage to another organ in the body. And then that situation worsens, and in some rare cases, it results in deaths. Another thing that I think needs to be brought to the attention is, with all these organ functions that are damaging to the body, more things need to be done to people who are suffering these issues. Disability needs to be easier to get for someone who qualifies, because a lot of these organ damage issues, like pulmonary issues, neurological issues, that's disabling. You should be able to qualify for disability if you suffer from one of these issues post-COVID, because it is not your fault that this happened. It's the fault of the pandemic that was not controlled properly. It was never put under control, and essentially we are just still disabling people. Yes, the numbers right now, in terms of cases, they're far lower than they were in the past couple of years. Although, let it be, the data is hidden. We're not able to see how many actual cases there are right now because of these at-home tests and all people not getting tested and all the other ways that the data gets hidden. But let's just be real here. It's still happening, and daily, people are still suffering organ damage. People are still contracting COVID. People are still getting long COVID. And yes, people are still dying. This is a real issue. And the fact that we just brush it under the rug and hide it and do nothing about it and let it unfold, that is just totally wrong. And something needs to be done about this. This needs to take front center in the media to scare the people. Yeah, yes, I am fear-mongering right now, because the people need to be scared about this, because it's not being talked about at all. And it's just like, oh, I'll be fine. Nothing's going to happen to me. Then all of a sudden it hits you. You get COVID. You get organ damage. And then it's a real-life situation for you that you have to deal with for the rest of your life, because we are not taking it serious. We are not doing enough to do studies and find ways to treat these problems, and it's just being let loose out of control. Alrighty, I think I've got you all worked up enough now. Hopefully you see how serious this situation is. Hopefully you learned something from this. Until next time, hit the like and subscribe button down below, and stay safe, everyone. Avoid catching this as much as you can.